MathLab444 here, and welcome to a new series of mine. This is going to be called Using Python, okay? So this is going to be a sort of short series to teach you how to, sort of the basics of programming. Now, I don't claim to be a good programmer whatsoever. I'm not very good at programming at all, I'm not going to lie. However, I understand the basics. This is going to be sort of for anyone sort of around GCSE level, starting off their GCSEs, looking to do their GCSE computing coursework or other programming top tips and sort of how to use Python as well. So like this is like how I use it, and it got me through my GCSEs. I got an A star in my Python coursework using these techniques. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to teach you sort of how to program, how to program basically. That's really cool. So like how to do like sort of the basics of how to program. So let's get straight into it. Now this episode is all going to be on the very basics and the first thing you need to know when you're coding with Python, and that's print. Now print is a very useful tool that you can use. It basically outputs something that you want to show. Now how you do that is you type in print, open bracket, you then use speech marks or quote marks, you type in your text that it wants to be printed, you close it with the speech box and close the bracket, as you can see on the screen now, and then press F5 to run the program. Make sure to save it all the time, and there you go, it prints a nice hello out on the screen. Now that's very basic. It can't just be like a whole episode on that, surely not. No, because there's more complicated things you can do with print other than just print hello. Now you can print numbers, so like print 55, 77, 89. That'll work just fine. Save it again. There you go. See? You can also, now this is one of the this is actually quite important thing. This is using variables in inside of printing. Now a variable is something that can be changed, as it sort of states in the name. That's not the actual definition for it in the dictionary. Like there's a more complicated one. That's sort of how I like to think of it. So like name equals make sure there's always open speech marks. Name equals Matthew is a name, for example. That is a variable. So then when you print name, it should print Matthew. There you go. Now users can input data into the program using a certain tool named input. I mean, it's not very hard. Now most people use input like this. What is your name, for example, and then they'll put equals name. I think that's not how it works. It's the other way around, sorry. Name equals, there you go. What is your name? Matthew is my name, and there you go. It saves it as your name, but that's not how I like to do it, because as you can see that's very messy. Looking at this, there's no space. It's very messy. The way I like to do it is print this out first. So we Control C this, Control V that. What is your name? As you can see there. Then just cut all that out and just simply have that. This will just ask for the input afterwards, and then afterwards, if we print name and run the program, hello, what is your name? If we if I just put that up on the side, scroll down a bit, what is your name? Let's not pretend, Matthew is my name, and it will print Matthew afterwards. Now this is a very basic thing. Now I'm going to give you a challenge, and this will occur every episode. I'll teach you how to do something, I'll give you a challenge, and then you try and replicate it, okay? So the challenge this episode is to try and create a program that prints out a username of someone in a fancy pattern. Now try and so like you can decide on the pattern, but as long as you've got something that can come in and then is printed out in a pattern, that's it. Now there's one thing that you need to know for this, and it's using the print function in this way. So you can also have open hello. You can combine the two things that we've already talked about using a plus symbol. So here we go, F5, save that. What's your name? Matthew. Now, as you can see, it's joined together now. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to get rid of that, as this will be part of the programming experience, okay, and part of the challenge. So try and create a fancy pattern after a user types in their username, and I'll be back in a second to give you the answer. So this is what I've put together for the final bit of code. So if we save it, run it. What is your username? My username is obviously MattyLove444, and then it prints out in two different formats, but they are both the same. If you look at the shell in big, they both are the same, but it does it in two different ways. Here, I've added using a space in between each one, which is a little inefficient, and here I've just left a space at the end of each. You could have done either, but looking at this, it's very inefficient, isn't it? Having to put a space and a plus. It's very annoying. Now, what you can just do, as a little hack, is that, and that should work. There you go, and as you can see, it prints out exactly the same on the last line, just using commas. Now, a comma means a space in between the two things. So if we were to, if I get rid of all of this, and I say that name equals Jim, or Jim, then we can print out Jim. So if we print out name, comma, hello, and we don't even need to leave any spaces, and it should automatically leave the space for us. Jim, hello. Perfect. That's just what we want to see. So thank you guys for watching this episode of Using Python. This is a pretty short episode, but they're all going to be pretty short because they're all pretty basic. So I hope this helps you with your Python coding, and thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.